Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Mindset Room. We are here on this beautiful Monday. Hi, Karen, welcome. For those of you watching the replay, also welcome. I have a really nice session today for you. Today is Monday. We're talking about mindset. There's something I particularly want to bring up, which has been very sort of close to my heart, I suppose, in a way. And you've probably heard me talk about this before, but it's Strictly Come Dancing. We had the final on Saturday night, and it was amazing. And I brought this particular couple that won up before, and that's why I wanted to bring it up again, because I want to tie this into how this can work for you as a virtual assistant and what actually happened. So to condense this story down, there was a blind man on Strictly Come Dancing, and a lot of people were having the expectation that because he was blind, it would be very difficult to teach him. It would be very difficult for him to learn things because he can't see. You know, like if you're teaching someone to dance, I think it's kind of like important that you're able to see things and show things, and he wasn't able to. Welcome, Anna. And the very interesting thing about this is that it wasn't the dancing. He won the competition, and it wasn't the dancing which he won from in particular. And I want to talk about that now, because let's say if it was a pure dancing competition, there were dancers there that were more technical than him, that were better dancers than him, that, you know, like that many different things you can say based on a scoring point of view. And this is why scores don't matter. Based on a scoring point of view, you would say, well, they were the better dancer and they should have won. But that is not the case. And that's what I want to talk about this morning, about morning mindset. But anyway, what I talked about previously with him was that you know, like, you don't have to, if you want to enjoy something, you don't necessarily have to put it all together and do it yourselves. The previous concept was, you know, would you try and teach a blind man how to dance type thing when you can just go and watch it? So that's on another video. It's in Morning Mindset. The one I want to talk to you about today is how being the top is not necessarily about being the best. Okay? So he was not the best dancer. There was four couples who were left in this competition, and he had the lowest scores. So what made him win? Okay? And when you look at this from a perspective of feeling like you have to be a perfectionist, you have to be perfect to get clients, you have to be perfect to get the good stuff, you have to, you know, like you have to have it all perfect, otherwise it's not worth it. He did not have that. What did he have instead? He had something very special, and he had the support of others. Now, what gave him that support? What made that special? I think we can speculate on many things, but I truly believe that it was the fact that he was completely himself. He was not trying to be perfect. He was trying to compete with himself every week to be better. And I've talked about this before on Morning Mindset, but this is such a classic example about how important this is that you are not competing. He was not competing with the other three contestants or the other three couple contestants in that competition. And this is so apparent that he was not competing with them because he could not see them. He had never seen any of their dances. He had never even replayed back and saw his own dances. So this was a completely uncompetitive like mindset, apart from he could only compete with himself and how he felt when he did each dance, because that's all he had to go on, is himself. And for business and everything, you have to understand that everything comes from you. Everything is you pushed out. So when you are putting together a business, it's not about looking at all the other people and then comparing yourselves to them and trying to emulate what they are doing. In a it's not about that. It's about, how can I do better than how I was doing yesterday? And in the end, this paid off for this guy, because all of these other people, you would say, had more of an advantage because they had physical eyesight. But I believe this guy really had mindsight. He was able to create these dances not through seeing physically what was going on, but having to create these mental pictures in his mind of how the dance was coming together until it actually came together, and he won the competition. So I'm super excited about it because he totally deserved it. But he won it through likability. He won it through people just genuinely liking him. He was not trying to pretend to be somebody he wasn't. He was not trying to force himself and push himself to be perfect and then telling himself, constantly like, oh, it's not good enough or something like that. He never did that to himself. He was technically his own best friend, because he was just like, I'm going to just show up and do my best and hope people like it. And try to entertain other people, not like think of myself and things like that, but just try to give other people the best time. And that really worked. And you don't have to go for the masses and the majority. Most times people will build a business based on being themselves, right? Because what does that create? Being yourself demonstrates a level of confidence that a lot of other people don't have. The ones that are trying to look outside and emulate other people and not really be true to themselves, those people don't have the confidence, because you can't have confidence in something that doesn't feel right to you. And when you're trying to be different and you're trying to be someone else and you're trying to appear as different to other people, that then will basically energetically bring about a lack of confidence. And there is also something about being you that is very, very powerful, like unapologetically showing up in your business as you. Okay. And I've seen over the years in virtual assistants, incredibly, some very polar dramatic differences in virtual assistant businesses. You've got virtual assistant businesses that are literally built around the love of camper vans, or virtual assistant businesses being built around the fact that they're a certain sexual orientation, or virtual assistant businesses just being built around people's individual hobbies, whether that be dancing or something like that. People have injected themselves in, and you would say to yourself, well, that's probably going to limit you somewhat, but it doesn't. It might take away 80% of the wrong type of people for you, but it will attract and create true fans out of the 20% that look at you and resonate with you and relate to you and just are like, I want to work with that person. I want to be around that person. And it does not matter about the other 80%, because once you've got that 20% of loyal customer base, that is all you need, even less than that, to run a really effective virtual assistant business, or any type of business. To be honest with you, this isn't just restricted to virtual assistants. So it's okay if you repel the wrong people, because what you are going to do is really attract the right people to you. And those people are going to become your fans, and those people are going to support you. And every time you offer out a new package, or every time you have something else that, you want to kind of present to those people, they will be ready to buy from you. And not only that, that 20% of people will also be ready to recommend you to all of the people that they know who could really use you. And usually those people are also along the similar lines of thinking as the ones that have recommended them, people moving similar circles. So this is really, really important. And the final thing that I want to share with you, which I did take away from this incredible guy who was completely blind and was able to do these incredible dances, is that you double down on your strengths. Okay? So a lot of VAs are coming to me and asking me, like, what shall I learn? What shall I do? What services do clients want? And it's really not about that. It's about, what are your strengths? What do you love to do? What are you really good at that you could just do every day, whether you were being paid for or not? Okay. It's not about trying to force yourself into something that other people want you to be. Okay. Yes, we have this thing of, give the client what they want, absolutely, but make sure they're the right client first in order to be able to deliver what they want, because you have to be the best at being able to do that. Okay. So all I can say to you as a final takeaway on this guy, he doubled down on his strengths, okay? There were certain aspects of his dances that he kept pulling his strengths out and injecting them into, because he knew he couldn't make all the steps the best technically. He knew he wasn't able to see any of his other, competitors in the competition. He knew all of these things. So he obviously, and his teacher obviously, who was his partner, really doubled down on the things that he was good at, doubled down on the strengths that he was able to demonstrate, whether it be he was a comedian, so they put like a lot of acting and comedic things into his dances. He also danced to a lot of music that he particularly liked. It's interesting because he kept mentioning that they asked him for a list of songs he liked, and they used a lot of the songs, and he had a very good ear for music and musicality, so he was able to dance better because he was loving the songs that he was dancing to. So this is like what I really want to share with you today, that it's not about being perfect. It's not about comparing yourself to the competition and thinking that you have to be a cookie cutter version of that competition. Or that works for them, so I will have to do that. That doesn't necessarily mean it will work for you. The final thing is don't worry about pleasing everybody. What you want to do is be you, be your unique self, bring confidence, which then brings power. And when you do that, you will attract the 20% of people who you truly need in your business and repel the other 80% who you don't and who will waste your time. And then finally, double down on your strengths. Do what you love. Do what floats your boat. Okay? Make your business around something that you are just going to not have any resistance to on a daily basis. I am now 20 years into my business. In 2025, it'll be 20 years because I started it in 2005. I wish I had known these things back then. I really do. When I started my business, I was constantly thinking, what are other people doing and how can I make myself more like them? And it really did not work very well for me. I attracted the wrong types of clients. I sometimes hated working in my business on those days until I cottoned on that something's not quite right. And then I just started to show up as myself, be very open about that. I attracted the right types of clients. I started eliminating all the services I didn't like to do, and I started to really focus on the services that I did like to do and I was strong at. And I wake up every day and I love coming to work. That's where you need to be. That's what's going to make everything so good for you in your life, in your business, in everything, because it's never going to feel fake to you. It's never going to feel fake. And like from my perspective as well, I get people contact me a lot going, oh, if you did this, then you would make a bigger audience. If you did this, you would get more followers. If you did this, and you know what, maybe I would, but I wouldn't be true to me and true to myself. And I don't think I would like myself very much if I was trying to be somebody I'm not. So I stayed true to that. And here I am 20 years later in running the business of my dreams, doing things every day that I love, building a beautiful community of many, many people. I think we've got like more than 150,000 people or something now. And I'm so happy. And it's all coming from a place of knowing I don't have to be the best and I don't have to be perfect, but I have to love and be the best at what I do and compete with myself every day to be the best at it. pep talko. Okay, guys, so hopefully you'll take some of this on board. If you do want to go and check it out, his name is Chris McCausland. He won Strictly Come Dancing in the UK version. I think they call it Dancing with the Stars abroad and things like that. But he was just phenomenal, and I loved him, and I love how perfectly imperfect he was in this whole competition. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you have at least a few takeaways from that. In the meantime, we will now get on to doing our daily accountability. Get your journals at the ready, my darlings, and we will begin. Thank you so much, and I shall see you again soon. Before we begin, don't forget you can join me live online inside Virtual CoWorking Space at www.virtualmissfriday.com/VCS. If you enjoy this session, give it a like. I'd love to hear from you, so write me a comment. And so you don't miss any updates, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. So now we're going to look for the positive with our gratitude. First, we'll spend 1 minute thinking of the day before, thinking of all the things that happened, reflecting on work, interactions, relationships, memorable moments, and more. Now you'll write one thing down minimum that you're grateful for. You can, of course, write down more. Something good, something that went right, a small moment or a big win. The more you search for things to be grateful for, the more you will experience things to be grateful for. Now we're going to read out your goal. Make sure your goal is written down in a journal or somewhere you can easily access it. Read your goal now, ideally out loud, and commit to this goal. Believe it will happen. And by reading this daily, the universe knows clearly what your goal is, and the things begin to shift in the direction of your goal. Follow your instincts when this happens by taking action. Now you need to see your goal in visualization. Spend this minute thinking about the goal in your mind. See yourself taking steps towards the goal, or even better still, see yourself having already achieved the goal. Close your eyes and go there. Step into the feeling, step into the place, step into the accomplishment. And finally, it's time for your most important task. Set this task for today and make it relating to your goal. This could be something small like sending an email, recording a video, or making a phone call, or it could be bigger. Either way, one task a day is one step forward, and those steps will add up. Do what you can from where you are now. Set the intention, and the action will carry you towards your goal.
Well done you for completing your daily co-create session. Have a fantastic day ahead, and I'll see you next time.